Let's take a look at a few of the GDI strategies. So GDI is a well-rounded, resilient force. They've got a lot of armor, a lot of hit points, and some heavy-hitting weapons. Let's take a look at some of the special tricks they have up their sleeve, as well as some of their late-game heavy-hitter units. Snipers serve as the eyes and ears of GDI's reconnaissance forces. So they're great because they're stealth and they have a great vision range and long range with their weapon. You can put them in an APC and move them around, and they'll be able to take out infantry even more effectively than an APC on its own. The good thing that you can do, though, is you can move them forward, and then you can sneak them into an enemy base. Once you've snuck them into an enemy base, you can spot for your juggernauts. So if you have built a couple juggernauts back at your base, which are normally pretty good at bombarding on their own, they can bombard at any range if there's a sniper spotting for them. So in this case, you're going to see us move some snipers up here just outside the Tiberium field. They can see their target. There's some serious base defenses there, but without getting in range, without getting spotted, since they're stealth, they can spot for the juggernauts. And so you'll see the juggernauts being used here to fire from all the way across the map at these base defenses. You can use as many juggernauts as you want and as many snipers as you want to cover larger areas. And as you can see, these juggernauts take out these base defenses and these artillery fairly easily. Snipers also make a great base defense. You can hide them in your base since they're stealth, and your enemy won't know they're there. So what will happen is you can use them against commandos and engineers. So when they run their commando in, thinking that they're getting around your base defenses, their commando is going to be killed in one shot by the sniper. This also works on engineers. It's an excellent advantage that GDI has over the other sides as far as base defense is concerned. That allows the snipers to be used both on offense and defense, and so you don't waste your money. The GDI APC is a really versatile unit. So on its own, it's a great anti-infantry and anti-air vehicle. But you can put any kind of infantry you want into it, and they'll shoot out. So in this example, you're going to see us putting missile troops in here. This is probably the most useful thing to put in APCs. APCs with missile guys they're good against aircraft, they're good against infantry, and they're good against vehicles as well. In this case, they're doubling their power against aircraft by firing missiles out and using their anti-aircraft machine guns, making quick work of the Venoms, which would normally just kill the missile soldiers outright. Another thing APCs can do is they can deploy mines. So if you want to hold a small choke point like this one and not have to defend it with expensive base defenses, you can move a couple APCs up, drop some mines, and then you can pull your APCs back and send them into other directions and use them on offense. That way the mines themselves will cover as a sort of base defense, and you won't have to worry about committing so many vehicles to holding that choke point.
I can figure it out. This way clear?
APCs are also a great way to get a large number of engineers into an enemy base. So normally engineers are slow moving, they're extremely vulnerable, and all their players are always going to be watching out for them. So any base defense or quick vehicle is going to be able to take them out. But if you put them in APCs, you can move them into the enemy base. The opponent won't know what's in those APCs. And then if you bring enough of them at one time, you'll be able to deploy all of the engineers at once and send them all to different buildings. And it's really hard to stop that many engineers at once. It's an expensive strategy, but one that is not easily countered.
It's all ready. Let's go to work. Everything's ready. Commander, I got all I need.
Of course, once you have engineers in their base, you can feel free to pump units out of their buildings or sell them off, anything you want to do. Remember, they also give you buildable radius, so you can drop defenses in their base if you want to.
Structure sold. Structure sold. Structure sold.
One of the most powerful aircraft in the game, and one that shows up relatively early in the tech tree, is the Orca. So GDI uses the Orca principally to fight vehicles, as they're fast-moving and have extremely powerful anti-vehicle weapons. But another thing they're great at is taking out enemy structures. Orcas can rip through structures faster than almost any other aircraft, especially relative to their cost. As you can see here, they do a lot of damage to that con-yard. But if they're not able to take it out, you can always call in the Orca strike power. What'll happen here is that the Orcas do a lot of damage and go home to reload, but the Orca strike power comes in to finish the job. By combining powers in vehicles like this, you can really maximize the effectiveness of each one. Together, they're much more powerful than they would be alone. Zone troopers are the heaviest infantry in the game. They're GDI's late-game infantry, they're armored, and they're excellent against vehicles. One way to use zone troopers is to call them in with the late-game power drop pods. So what you can do is, if you send in a significant force to distract your enemy and attack their base, and focus all their fire on that force, you can drop in zone troopers anywhere you need them to take out high-value targets such as airfields and con yards, or just knock out power to reduce base defenses. So as you can see here, these zone troopers jump in the middle of a battle where the opponent was just worried about vehicles a moment before. Now he's got heavily armored infantry to contend with, and infantry that are really good at taking out buildings.
Taking it there.
Under attack.
That's right. Let's move. Move it.
So zone troopers and commandos tend to work well together. They're both extremely dangerous. They have jump packs, which allows them to move together. But one great way to use zone troopers is to, once you've reached the enemy base, is to take out the power plants in an enemy base so that their base defenses are dropped. Then you can bring the commando in the other side. Once the base defenses are down, the commando will have free reign to run through the base, blowing up buildings as he sees fit.
Unit under attack.
Yeah, go in there. Right.
Here you can see the commando running right past an anti-infantry shredder turret and heading towards a hostile structure to take it out with his explosives.
It's the socket cast.
So there you can see GDI has a few tricks up their sleeves, such as the snipers and the commando, but remember, their heavy hitter units, in conjunction with their special powers, can do a lot of damage.